Let us explain the scene you're seeing now. It's a gymnasium in Heilongjiang County, Jiangsu City, Heilongjiang Province. Last night, around 7:20 p.m., the roof of this gymnasium suddenly collapsed. Xi'an, a table tennis club. The entire roof has collapsed, right downstairs from my home. It's like an earthquake, just like that. It's a club, the entire roof has collapsed. Many residents rushed from their homes, running to the front of this gymnasium. Some people were still shouting that their children were still inside. My son, my son. They quickly got to the scene. This gymnasium, locally, is part of a place called Xi'an Square. Don't think Xi'an Square is an old building. It's very new. It was built in 2017, completed in 2018, and passed acceptance in 2020. It's a very, very new building. This building was constructed by a local real estate development company called Xi'an after it was built. It attracted the main part of the investment. It has a shopping center, and this subsidiary part is a sports arena. Inside the venue, there's a basketball court, a badminton court, and a table tennis court. In 2020, they rented it to Sunshine Fitness Club. These parents, after rushing to the scene, rushed into the ruins to find the missing children. According to media reports afterward, there were a total of 7 children inside when the accident happened. All 7 children were middle school students playing basketball together. They said they suddenly heard something wrong with the roof around 7:20, and they hurried to run outside. The 3 students who ran quickly ran out of the doorway. There were 4 students buried under the rubble. Among the 4 children, 1 was slightly injured and was rescued. The other 3 students were all killed. It's really too tragic. In the midst of misfortune, luckily, in this incident, the part that collapsed was concentrated in the sports arena. If the main building part collapsed, where the shopping center is, the casualties might have been even more severe. Still, it has sparked widespread anger among netizens. A few months ago, in the same Heilongjiang province, in Xi'an City, a school's gymnasium collapsed, burying all the female volleyball students and their coaches who were training there under the rubble. In the end, over a dozen students and their coaches died. But what we don't understand is, it was the same type of sports facility and it's less than 100 days apart. What's going on in Heilongjiang? Do you all remember? After that accident in Xi'an, the whole Heilongjiang province conducted a comprehensive safety inspection with a focus on school buildings, including gymnasiums. But in less than 100 days, the same type of gymnasium, just in a different location, has collapsed again. This time, after the Heilongjiang City Sports Stadium collapsed, some people online said it was related to the heavy snowfall in Heilongjiang City in recent days. They said don't underestimate this snow. In fact, snow on the roof can be very heavy. If the snow accumulates to 30 centimeters, each square meter has a load area of approximately 30 kilograms. So for an area of 100 square meters, it would be about 3 tons. The entire collapsed area this time is said to be more than 600 square meters. When you add it up, it's almost 20 tons at this level. But the problem is, when you build in the Northeast, shouldn't you consider the snow factor? You're not in Hainan. You should be aware that your area will experience heavy snow in the winter. Moreover, the design and construction standards for your buildings should inherently have a certain level of redundancy. Exceeding the supposed extreme snow load, even by approximately twice, should not lead to such a swift collapse. The focal point of this disaster was the sports stadium. Now, let's examine this sports stadium. It boasts a height of more than 9 meters, and the primary building adjacent to it stands as a 2-story reinforced concrete structure. However, the stadium section, with its absence of beams or columns in the center, renders its roof, particularly the area where the bridge crosses, comparatively lightweight. This presents a challenge in terms of the building's design and construction. When constructing in the northeastern region, one should account for the snow factor. Consequently, in my perspective, this incident can undeniably be attributed to human errors. Primarily, the construction and contracting companies cannot evade accountability. Furthermore, looking beyond the construction and contracting companies, one must ponder whether government authorities bear a responsibility. Let's delve into this matter further. Firstly, in May 2020, the government carried out an inspection of this building. This is because construction companies may engage in malpractice. However, the government's role is to act as a guardian. What does it mean to be a guardian? It implies safeguarding the interests of ordinary people, as it is impractical for the general populace to scrutinize every building under construction to ascertain whether they meet the design and construction standards. The government should have the capacity to evaluate whether these buildings conform to the standards. Nonetheless, the local government in Heilongjiang City, after their inspection, asserted that the building had no issues. Furthermore, following this incident, news from 2 years ago resurfaced, revealing that the local county secretary named Xi'an visited the construction site of Xi'an Plaza during the same month when he conducted the inspection. Furthermore, concerning the weather forecast, the meteorological department had already issued an early warning about a week in advance. Modern weather forecasts can predict extreme snowfall or heavy rainfall a week or even 2 weeks ahead. Therefore, a week before the incident, the meteorological department had issued a warning. The snowfall in Heilongjiang this time was anticipated to be exceptionally significant, with the potential to surpass historical records. Consequently, Heilongjiang Province deployed a Level 3 emergency response in various areas. On November 4, officials in Heilongjiang County began preparations for dealing with this exceptional snowfall. On November 5, they initiated a Level 3 response. We checked the government's website for information about their emergency preparedness, but it was not easily accessible. The government's website did not display news about the incident, which is highly unusual given the scale of the tragedy. The information is buried in an inconspicuous section of the news center. On November 6, at midnight, snowfall began in Heilongjiang County. By 2 p.m., the local meteorological office reported that Heilongjiang had received an accumulation of 21.3 millimeters of snow, which was classified as heavy snowfall. Heilongjiang experienced 7-level or higher gusts of wind, with the strongest gust reaching level 9. The information also mentioned that further snowfall was expected, with an additional 15 to 25 millimeters, potentially totaling nearly 50 millimeters. The most significant point to note is that a red warning was issued, which is a high-level weather warning. However, it wasn't issued by Heilongjiang County itself, but by the National Emergency Response Center. This red warning indicated that the situation was being monitored at the national level and not solely by the local government. Following this warning, there was a delay in taking action by the local government. Moreover, under the red warning guidelines, specific measures can be implemented, including school and business closures. However, Heilongjiang County did not announce school and business closures. The incident occurred at 7:20 p.m. that evening. In a shocking turn of events, a building in Heilongjiang County, Heilongjiang, China, recently collapsed under the weight of heavy snowfall, resulting in multiple casualties. This tragic incident has raised several concerning questions about the preparedness of local authorities and the government's response to adverse weather conditions. The incident, which unfolded on a snowy night, is believed to be a man-made disaster with severe implications. The building in question, known as the Sunshine Club, bore the brunt of the heavy snow. Despite being designed to withstand typical snow loads, it failed to endure the unprecedented snowfall. An important point to note is that the building, housing a sports stadium, lacks central beams and columns, making it less structurally sound, particularly in the middle where a bridge passes through. An initial analysis of the situation points to multiple layers of responsibility, starting with the construction and contracting companies. The collapse of the Sunshine Club has raised concerns about the quality of construction and the building's adherence to safety standards. Subpar work by the construction and contracting companies may have played a significant role in the catastrophe. However, the responsibility doesn't end there. Local government authorities are also under scrutiny for their role in this tragedy. In May 2020, the building passed an inspection conducted by the local government. The government's role is to safeguard the interests of ordinary citizens by assessing whether buildings meet safety standards. It is apparent that in this case, the local government of Heilongjiang County failed to recognize the potential hazards associated with the building. This failure raises questions about the efficacy of government inspections and the accountability of officials responsible for these evaluations. The weather also played a crucial role in this disaster. Meteorological authorities had issued warnings about the impending heavy snowfall a week in advance. Weather forecasts have become increasingly precise, enabling authorities to anticipate extreme weather conditions well ahead of time. Heilongjiang County falls under a region susceptible to snowfall, and in light of the warnings issued, it is evident that local authorities should have been prepared for such an eventuality. In this particular case, the snowfall was extraordinary, possibly exceeding historical records. Consequently, the local government initiated a Level 3 emergency response. It is worth noting that this response was primarily directed toward traffic control and management, with a focus on keeping roads clear. However, the emergency plan failed to address the safety of buildings, which is a crucial aspect of disaster preparedness. Furthermore, the response was delayed. By the time the red alert was issued, 3 hours had passed, during which heavy snowfall continued. A timely red alert could have led to school and business closures, potentially preventing casualties. Unfortunately, the government's response to the red alert, which should have included such measures, was inadequate. This incident highlights a fundamental problem. Government officials seemed more interested in conducting meetings and appearing diligent on paper than genuinely safeguarding the lives of ordinary citizens. They appeared to lack the ability to respond effectively when a real disaster struck. The government's failure to prioritize emergency response, especially in the context of weather-related hazards, has raised concerns about the safety and well-being of citizens in the region. They failed to address this disaster properly and prioritize the lives and health of ordinary citizens. This tragedy is, in essence, a test of the government itself, whom it serves and how it functions. If it truly serves the common people, a snowstorm like this should not result in such massive losses. However, if the government primarily serves higher authorities or itself, no matter how comprehensive the regulations are, they become futile. Tragedies continue to occur. The relevant authorities will swiftly investigate the local government officials in Heilongjiang County. The immediate detention of the owner of the Sunshine Club is misguided. He did not construct the building, and there were no restrictions on his business operation, so he did not commit any wrong. Instead, the local public security officials, the county mayor, county party secretary, and the deputy county mayor responsible for supervision should be detained. Their negligence amounts to a significant dereliction of duty. However, the question remains, can you actually do that? Unfortunately, it's doubtful. Why can't you do it? We believe everyone understands the reasons behind this.